Well, here we are, everybody. The tribute song made for Moonbin. I'm not going to promise that I can't cry, or that I won't cry, but I wanted to bring something up. I remember when I wanted to do ASTRO for 1 Week Club. It was in April. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I can't do it. I don't want to make it feel like that we're doing this for clout chasing or for clicks. And just out of pure respect as well. I didn't really want to do it then. But to me, this feels a little bit more like closure because this is the first time that I've had to deal with this. Sadly, this has happened more than once in K-pop. And, that was actually one of the hardest parts about when I got into the game, K-pop, finally getting into it. I remember the big thing was I remember listening to Sherlock by Shiny, and I remember how I was just really praising Jonghyun and his vocals and talking about how I was so excited to get to know him as a group and stuff. And I remember going to the comments and realizing that he had passed away, and it felt like a bomb was dropped on me because I was just watching him perform, and it was just such a moment, and in a way I wasn't there, but at the same time too, like, it didn't feel like very good closure. It was just like a poof, and I had nothing else to do. So I wanted to do this as well for my own closure. I remember when he passed. And I remember thinking to myself, like, well, I don't want to do the 1 Week Club during this exact moment. So I remember I put it off to like October, just out of respect. I don't want to have anything ruin the possibility of it being seen as anything else other than just getting to know Astro and, celebrating a good person as well. Anyway, I've talked long enough. Let's all cry together, shall we?
잘하고 있다고 아마 얘기해줬겠지 난 알아. 부끄럽지 않게 난 부럽지 않게만 떳떳하게 네 몸같이 우리 함께 살아. 그리움은 깊어져가 다른 문이 열리면 네가 서 있을까. 환히 웃으며 나를 반기는 행복 가득한 미소를 너와 함께 했던 지난 날의 기억이 그리워질 때면 밤마다 두드릴게 꿈속의 문. 어딜 가도 네가 있는 것 같아 미안해. 하지마 이게 마지막이 아니잖아. 멀지 않아서 만날 거니까. 그리움은 깊어져가 다른 문이 열리면 네가 서 있을까. 환히 웃으며 나를 반기는 행복 가득한 미소를 품 너와 함께
잘해줄걸 후회가 안 남게 말해줄걸 너무 사랑한다 또 미안하다 꼭 다시 만나자 외쳐
어두운 하늘에 달 한 줄기의 빛 가장 빛나는 내게 말할게
달의 문이 열리면 어디서 있을게 우리가 있을 시간 밝은 하늘 꿈꾸며 우리 잊지 않고 널 기다려 아무 걱정 없고 어릴 적 그때처럼 웃으며 들려줘 꿈속의 문 앞에서 달빛 아래 너와 나 다시 못 보지만 다시 만날 그날을 꿈꾸며 다른 공간에서 널 그리며 언젠가는 우리 같은 곳에서 만나 웃으며 들려줘 우리 위해 열어둔 꿈속의 꿈
Thought I was ready to speak. I was doing okay. Till his sister showed up. The thing that's so crazy is this is not something that I wish that I could ever have to relate to someone to, but I can. I know what it's like. I lost my brother back in 2012. And the truth is, no matter what anyone says or tells you, time does not heal all wounds. You just find ways to deal with it. I may be I might be one person, but I can relate to this in a very real way. It's something you can't get over. It's really not. Also, didn't help when I started seeing members of 17. I love 17. I knew this was going to happen. It's the chorus that got me as well.
어디서 있을게 우리가 있을 시간
I think I don't even feel like that I can even talk about the song on a musical standpoint, because what's the point? It's not what it's about. I always talk about how I want more collabs. I always think that it'd be so cool to see certain people do collabs together. I don't want it to be over something like this. I don't want this to be the reason for collabs. It's beautiful. So, oh gosh. No, go away. Okay, that might be a little bit better. The one interesting thing is with everything. I know this sounds really random, but I'll pull it back together to make it make sense. I always talked about how my ultimate bias is Dami from Dreamcatcher, and now that she's kind of in semi-retirement and going into being a producer, there's been a part of me that's looking for someone that I can have as like an old bias, in a sense. You know, in, I would say, while I wait for her return. And I really sat down and I started breaking out a bunch of just a ton of different photos of K-pop idols. And I thought to myself, oh, I should do Moonbin's sister. And then I thought to myself, I don't know if I could actually do that. I think it might make me too sad. I don't know if I could do that. But at the same time, too, I guess out of everybody now, she's one of the ones that has actually gone through something identical to what I have. I'm so glad that they did this, though. I feel like that one of my biggest critiques of K-pop in general is just how willing and fast everybody is to just move on. It's like, oh, well, we can't, do this anymore because now we're listening to this group, or like, oh, we don't care about that group anymore because this group just came out, or oh, this group just came out with a new comeback and now we have to stop listening to this group. And it always felt like that it's about the newest and prettiest thing, and it really misses the point a lot of times about musicians in general. And that's why one of the things that I really liked is when we started seeing some of these older K-pop groups finally getting like the legend treatment. Groups like Big Bang and all of them really. But I'm glad to see that in this particular aspect that people are not allowing Moonbin's memory to go to waste, because he shouldn't have to deal with that. And I know that it's very hard, but I hope that this is just a good sign in moving forward about a lot of stuff in the industry, and that maybe sometimes we can hold on to these groups that we like a little bit longer. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about this. We'll discuss this down in the comments below. Thank you.